Today, I have an amazing true story that will grab your heart from the very first word. Imagine a sunny day that seems just normal until something unbelievably kind and mysterious happens. A millionaire finds a lost child with a handwritten note at a bus stop, takes the child to his wife, and then a surprise return shocks everyone. Stay tuned because this story will make you believe that kindness can work miracles. Today's story begins on an ordinary day in a busy city. Picture yourself standing at a small bus stop. There is a simple bench, a little shelter to keep you dry, and a board that shows the bus times. People are waiting, chatting, and looking at their phones. But right here, on this very spot, something unusual catches the eye. A small boy sitting all alone. In his little hand, he clutches a folded piece of paper that looks worn and precious, as if it has traveled through time. This isn't just any day, and this bus stop isn't just any place. In an instant, an unexpected meeting is about to change everything. Let me tell you about the man who saw this scene. His name is Mr. Johnson, a very rich, successful man. You might think that a millionaire spends his days in fancy offices or driving luxury cars, but Mr. Johnson has a gentle and caring heart. Every day he believes that kindness is more important than all the money in the world. On this day, as Mr. Johnson was on his way home after a busy day of meetings, he stopped at the bus stop to catch a breath of fresh air. That's when he noticed the little boy. The child looked scared and confused, and his tiny fingers trembled as he held on to that mysterious note. Mr. Johnson's eyes softened as he realized someone in need was standing right in front of him. Mr. Johnson walked slowly toward the child and knelt down with a warm smile. "Hello, little one," he said in a gentle voice. "Are you okay? Why are you all alone?" The child, with tears brimming in his eyes, whispered, "I don't know. I found this note, but I don't understand it. I, I'm scared." In that moment, Mr. Johnson's heart skipped a beat. He looked at the note the boy held. The note had simple, careful handwriting. It read, "Take him to my wife." The words were written on paper that looked old, as if it had been passed down through great feelings and many smiles before. Mr. Johnson wondered, who could this note belong to? And why would someone leave a message like that for a little child? Even though the mystery was puzzling, he knew one thing for sure. He could not let the child be alone any longer. Without a moment's hesitation, Mr. Johnson took the child gently by the hand. "Come with me, my friend. I promise you, you are safe now," he said kindly. On their walk to his home, Mr. Johnson started asking small questions. "What is your name, little one? Do you know any part of where you live?" The child paused and replied in a soft voice, "I'm Sam. I don't remember my mommy. I just found this note." As they walked along bustling streets and friendly sidewalks, Mr. Johnson thought about his own childhood. He remembered days when he too had felt small in a big world, and how one kind hand made him feel safe. This flashback of simple help and shared smiles made him even more determined. Mr. Johnson always believed that no matter how rich someone becomes, having a kind heart is the biggest treasure. This day, more than a business trip or a meeting, was about rescuing a life, and he knew exactly what to do next. When Mr. Johnson arrived at his home, a warm and welcoming house filled with light and laughter, his wife, Mrs. Johnson, was waiting on the porch. She was known in the community for her gentle nature and kind smile. Every time the door opened, her warmth spread like a ray of sunshine. As soon as she saw Sam, the little child clinging to her husband's hand, her eyes filled with tears of relief and joy. "Oh my," she said softly, "how did you find him?" Mr. Johnson told her everything in a calm, clear voice. He explained how he noticed the child at the bus stop holding that curious note. Mrs. Johnson hugged Sam close and whispered, "You are safe now. We will help you, and we will find the answers together." That simple act of love turned an ordinary day into something magical. It wasn't just about finding a lost child. It was about mending broken moments and showing that every heart, big or small, can shine bright. Now let's look closely at the note. The paper was a little crinkled, and the letters were written neatly with simple strokes. It said just three words: "Take him to my wife." You might ask, why does the note ask for a wife? In many old stories and family legends, a wife often stands for care, wisdom, and unconditional love. It seems that the note was a small puzzle, carrying a message that someone trusted Mrs. Johnson to be the one who could bring comfort to the child. Just like scientists study old handwriting to learn about the past, we too can see that every mark on the note told a silent story. The paper's worn edges and the gentle curve of each letter spoke of care and urgency. Even though the words were few, they carried the power of hope, urging us to believe that simple acts can make a huge difference. After helping Sam settle in and sharing a warm meal at home, Mr. Johnson decided he needed a quiet moment to think about the day's strange events. He stepped outside later, almost returning to the familiar bus stop, a place that had opened his eyes to this whole adventure. But when Mr. Johnson got back to the bus stop, something unexpected had happened. A small crowd had gathered. People who had witnessed parts of the day were talking in low voices, all looking toward the bench where the note had first been seen. And there, on the bench, lay another note. But this one was different. It read, "Thank you for the gift of a new beginning." This new note shocked everyone. How had it appeared so quickly? Who could have left it? Was it a message from the lost child? Or was it something magical sent by fate itself? The crowd buzzed with whispers and wonder. People could not help but feel that the universe had spoken through these mysterious letters. Mr. Johnson stood quietly, his mind full of questions. Yet in his heart, he felt something very clear. Every act of kindness brings a little magic into the world. Even if we do not know all the answers, sometimes a simple thank you note is enough to light up the darkest moments. After that day, the story of Mr. Johnson, Sam, and the mysterious notes spread quickly through the neighborhood. Neighbors talked about it for days, and soon the local newspaper even wrote a small article about the miracle at the bus stop. People began to see their bus stops, their parks, and even their corners of the city as possible stages for kindness and unexpected wonders. One of the most heartwarming parts of the story was how the crowd reacted. Adults and children began to share their ideas about what the message might mean. A little girl told her friend, "I want to be brave like Mr. Johnson when someone needs help." A kind old man said, "This shows that our world can change with one small act of care." The simple act of picking up a lost child had set off a chain of hope that rippled through every heart in the community. For me, this story is like a warm cup of cocoa on a cold day. It fills you with a quiet joy and reminds you that every one of us can be a hero by doing something just a little bit kind. It's even like when you share your favorite toy with a friend, or when you help someone carry their bag. Small actions matter a lot. You might wonder, why did Mr. Johnson do what he did? When you have lots of money, many think your life is all about important work and big decisions. But Mr. Johnson showed us that wealth is not just measured in dollars. It's measured in the size of your heart. He believed that with great wealth comes a great duty to help others. Researchers say that when people perform acts of kindness, their brains make chemicals that make them feel happy. Even if you are very busy, a kind act can brighten your day and the day of the person you help. Mr. Johnson's actions remind me that real success is not about having a big bank account. It's about having a big heart. Let's also talk a little about bus stops. They may seem very simple, a bench here, a sign there, but they are very important. Bus stops are places where many people meet. They are safe and open spaces designed for waiting and talking. On that ordinary bus stop on this day, something extraordinary happened. It is a reminder that even in the busiest parts of our lives, we can still take a moment to notice someone who might be in need and offer help. In technical terms, the notes, paper, and handwriting even tell part of the mystery. Experts might look at the type of paper, the ink, and the style of writing to guess where and when it was made. Although we do not have all the answers, every little clue shows that there was care behind those words. Sometimes details like these help us understand that behind every mysterious message, there is a story of hope. Now let's add a little humor to our story. Imagine if you were waiting at a bus stop and saw a little puppy with a note that said, "Take me to my mom." It might sound funny or strange at first, but wouldn't you pick up that puppy and try to help? I bet you would, because deep inside you know that helping someone or some puppy is always the right thing to do. I remember one time when I lost my favorite toy car. I was so sad, but then I found a small note taped to it saying, "Don't worry, your adventure has just begun." That note made me smile and feel brave again. In our story today, the mysterious note had a similar magic. It showed us that even when things seem confusing or scary, a kind heart can set things right. You see, every day we all have small chances to be kind. Whether it's sharing your snack at school, helping a friend with homework, or even smiling at someone who looks sad, these small gestures can grow into something wonderful. Mr. Johnson's act of bringing Sam home is an example of how one hug, one gentle word, or one simple note can change lives. It teaches us that we are all connected by our capacity for love and care. After that very day, something beautiful began. Mr. Johnson and his wife did not stop at just finding Sam or reading a mysterious note. They started talking with everyone they met about the magic of kindness. Neighbors began to help one another more. People started organizing small groups where they shared stories, helped those in need, and looked out for anyone who might feel lost. The bus stop, once just a place to wait, turned into a little spot of wonder, a place remembered as the start of many kind deeds. Children would come by, and sometimes someone would share a story about how a simple act helped them in a hard moment. The entire community started to celebrate the idea that every little help matters. I truly believe that if we all take a moment to be gentle and caring, our world will be a much brighter place. Even if you are young, remember that you have a big power in your heart. Every time you choose kindness, you are planting a seed that can grow into a beautiful garden of love. Let's now take a moment to think about the mystery behind the notes. Why did the first note say, "Take him to my wife," and the second one, left later, say, "Thank you for the gift of a new beginning"? Some of us may never know the full story behind these messages, but that is what makes life interesting. It is full of puzzles and surprises. Some people believe that these notes were like little gifts from fate. They may have been left by someone who cared so much that even when they could not be there, they trusted in the power of love to bring someone to safety. Others think the notes were made by a troubled heart in need of help. The truth may be a mix of both ideas, and that mystery teaches us to be open to the unexpected. While we may not solve every puzzle, the important lesson here is to act with your heart. Even when things seem strange, if you see someone in need, offering help can create ripples that touch many lives. And that is a lesson we can all remember daily. As we near the end of our story, I want you to take a deep breath and think about every time someone helped you. Think about a moment when a kind smile or a small help changed your day. Mr. Johnson's actions remind us that being kind is not just for movies or fairy tales. It can happen in our own neighborhoods, at bus stops, in parks, or even in our classrooms. I believe that every one of us is a hero at heart. Whether you have lots of money or just a loving heart, you can make a difference. Sometimes you might feel scared or uncertain about what to do. But remember, even a small act of courage can light up someone's life. It is important to listen to your heart and take action when you know what is right. Sometimes life gives us little messages, like a worn-out note at a bus stop, and if we pay attention, we might see the clue that helps us start a new beginning. The story of Mr. Johnson, Sam, and those mysterious notes shows us that even everyday places can be filled with magic if we look close enough. To sum up our story, a kind millionaire named Mr. Johnson found a lost child named Sam at a bus stop. The child had a handwritten note that simply said, "Take him to my wife." Trusting his caring heart, Mr. Johnson took Sam to his loving wife, Mrs. Johnson, who welcomed him with open arms. Then when Mr. Johnson returned to the bus stop, he discovered a second note that read, "Thank you for the gift of a new beginning." That one small act of kindness created a mystery that touched an entire community and reminded us all of the magic in simple, caring deeds. If this story warmed your heart and made you believe a little more in the power of kindness, please do these three things. Hit the like button. Let the video know you enjoyed this journey. Subscribe to our channel. Join our family of kind hearts so you never miss another inspiring story. Watch the next video on the end screen. We have more amazing stories that will keep you inspired and smiling. Thank you for watching, and remember, no matter where you are or how small you feel, every act of kindness counts. Share this video with your family and friends. Let's keep spreading love and help one another every single day. Until next time, keep your heart open, be brave in your compassion, and always believe in a new beginning. Goodbye and see you in our next video.